pocket collapsing. Young rolling, directing traffic, throws to Coker for a Carolina touchdown.
This is what Carolina needed to see. A TD catch from Bryce Young to Jalen Coker got the crowd going inside Bank of America Stadium. But after that, it wasn't so pretty. And there's plenty for the Panthers to work on next week down in Houston. It's the good, the bad, and the Browns. With that, we welcome you inside a special post-game edition of Carolina Sports Live here at Bank of America Stadium. Gabe McDonald, Michael Sett. Plenty to digest after this 30-10 loss to the Browns for the Panthers. But it's not all bad stuff, Mike, after the first preseason.
No. You saw it right off the start. Slow start for the offense, but they got that touchdown. We're going to break that all down with Al Wallace. We're also going to talk about a fight.
Yeah.
We're going to have some guests on the program. But first, we're going to break it all down. We're going to start with the highlights.
Yeah, preseason game number 1 for the Carolina Panthers taking on the Cleveland Browns. Obviously, Bryce Young coming in as QB1. A lot of optimism for him in year 3 as a Panther. And, of course, Browns rookie Shedeur Sanders with a highly anticipated debut. After a Browns 3 and out, Carolina gave one back with its first offensive possession. The Panthers thin at left guard tonight. Alex Wright would capitalize, beating Jatir Carter to track down Young. Nothing really going offensively early for the black and blue. Defensively, undrafted rookie corner out of Louisville, Cory Thornton. Check this out. Had a good camp with the Alabama slam right here. Chop down the runner. Panthers defense really doing their job early on.
Second offensive possession went much better for Carolina. Good throw from Young to Tenero McMillan. First NFL catch in preseason. Fantastic. 29 yards to the 8th overall pick. A great catch, and the crowd approves. Also a lot of hope for Xavier Legette in year 2. Didn't have a lot of time to show it after a Chuba Hubbard run. Legette and Rayshawn Jenkins get into it. Legette right here. Going to throw some punches after his helmet was ripped off. Both players were shown the early door. Later in the drive, a rookie moment here from T-Mac. Wide open. Should have been a catch. He dropped it, immediately owned the mistake, said, my bad.
Panthers wide receiver room still got a lot of depth to it, though. Jalen Coker, the undrafted second-year guy to Holy Cross, trying to build off an impressive rookie campaign off a Young scramble drill, calls in the first preseason TD for the year. The Panthers off to a hot 7-0 start. Plenty of teachable rookie moments tonight, though. Trevor Etienne fielding a punt late in the first quarter. Maybe some friendly fire here from Nick Scott. Etienne can't field it cleanly. The Browns capitalize. They lead 14-7 at the break.
Second half, not much to show at all. Andy Dalton was the quarterback at this point. He would love to have that one back. A pick in Carolina's own end gave the Browns favorable field position, and they would cash in just a few moments later. Gage Larvadane on 4th and short from a few yards out. He's able to score. Panthers did some things well, other things not so much. 30-10, Cleveland takes it, but it doesn't count. And there's plenty to clean up, though, before next week's preseason clash in Houston.
I was proud of our group. Played physical. Some great running and hitting happened all across. So really proud of the play style. But, part of our play style is playing smart. I didn't feel like we did that. I felt like there was sloppiness, in some of the drives. And we're looking at 1st and 15s, and we're looking at some situations like that. So we got to take that, look at it and make sure that we're continuing to coach the technique better in some of those situations. I thought it was good to just kind of see, some of the matchups that we took advantage of. And, some guys made plays down the field. T-Mac made a nice play down the field. Jalen Coker comes in, when Xavier goes out and did a fantastic job. Like we didn't skip a beat, made some great plays that way too. So I saw some good rhythm.
Al, as this game was going on, as we bring in Al Wallace now, I was thinking of you throughout. You told me last week you wanted a game that Carolina could play and then learn from. And there were a lot of things tonight that I think they could learn from.
This is great teachable tape, and that's what Dave Canales is looking for. It does not have to be perfect here in week 1 of the preseason, but what you can do is go back on Sunday, I would assume, give the guys a day off tomorrow, and start to break this thing down, find out the deficiencies, find out where guys didn't really rise to the level of expectation, and you come out next week, Houston, and you're that much better. You take one step forward, and this team needs to hit their stride week 1 against Jacksonville.
When you think about, some of the penalties there, is that really frustrating to see, just watching this game? What do you think about them wanting to come out and be crisp offensively? Got off to a 3 and out there early on, but still were able to go down and score. How frustrating is that to see a lot of those penalties, especially with some good plays called back, like that one Jalen Coker catch too?
Yeah, it's tough. It's difficult. That's the one thing you want to get out of this preseason game. You want to have a clean performance. You want guys to go out there and play with confidence and not trip over yourself, not make the mistakes, not do things that hurt the team and set you back. But those, again, are effort plays, and that's what I saw. Guys really trying to make an effort, trying to make a name for themselves, and just going overboard and costing their team a penalty, 15, 20 yards.
But when things were going right on that scoring drive, what did you like, specifically from Bryce Young, who looked a little uncomfortable early but then sort of settled in?
Well, we saw the Bryce Young that finished the season last year, a mobile quarterback, a guy that can move with his feet. He's going to improvise, and when he does, he has enough arm strength to fire it in there. We saw that to Coker to score a touchdown. So a mobile presence, a guy that can move out in and out of the pocket and deliver strikes when he has to.
We talked about it earlier on Black and Blue Kickoff Live, what we wanted to see out of T-Mac. An incredible catch there on the sideline leading to that score. How impressive was the rookie tonight? Just his first NFL action, being able to make some plays. Had one that he wanted back, but still a pretty solid showing.
Yeah, I appreciate T-Mac making me look good. I said the body control was going to be there, his ability to track the ball over his head. And we saw this in some of the preseason training camp practices, just an uncanny knack for tracking a ball down, using that big body to shield off defenders and make a play. If T-Mac is going to be what we think he is, it's because he moves the chains, and he's going to make big explosive plays like that for Bryce Young.
I got to ask you about that Leggett fight. Is there any excuse for this? Can you come up with any explanation for what happened?
I'm always down for a good fight, guys. But look, you can't have it. It's one of those things you got to control your emotions, and that's a part of it. You get into a spot where you're competing against an opponent, a hostile opponent, and things get a little testy. We see it in practice, and then you forget under the lights in a preseason game, you can't start throwing blows. It's okay for the pushing and shoving, but as soon as the blows were thrown, you knew that was regrettable, and you heard that from XL. He knew that he messed up.
Especially for a guy that wanted to get as much film on tape tonight to really bounce back from last year. Definitely not the best showing for him tonight, but we'll see how he can bounce back in Houston. We didn't talk enough about the defense, though, but that's what we have Joey Ellis and Casey Funderburg for back in our studio. There's a bit of a tale of two sides when it comes to that side of the ball, guys.
Yeah, this is exactly what the preseason is for, getting better and developing, especially for the depth guys on the defense, Joey.
Yeah, absolutely. Once all the starters exited after the first quarter early on, we really did see some teachable moments, as they were alluding to, but also had some spots that'll certainly have the coaches talking now as they head to Houston next week. Carolina certainly, though, they had some strong moments within that secondary, especially. Devontae Richardson put an end to the Browns second half with a pretty good read and a very long distance to travel to get a sack on Shedeur Sanders. Cory Thornton just really proving he deserves a spot on this roster, making plays all over the field tonight, especially early on. And those were some top moments for the defensive side. Obviously, still a long way to go for this Panthers defense, but still definitely a step in the right direction when you're looking at this. I mean, especially those two guys. You get Richardson,
right,
Thornton. We were talking a lot in depth about just that back end. Who's going to be that depth piece behind J.C. Horn? So Thornton gets the start tonight with no J.C. Horn. Who's going to be the starting safety opposite of Trevon Merrick? Both of those guys, I think, proved a lot. I mean, they were dependable in the run. They were physical. They were competitive. Right. All things that Dave Canales wants to see on tape. And, I mean, I think it's a really impressive first bit of tape there to put out.
I think so as well. And if you look at the score, you think, the defense didn't really show up. Yeah. And obviously there were some issues that they're going to have to work out, right? First preseason game of the season. And we're going from the worst defense in the league to just trying to be able to compete out there. Because some of those mistakes that happened were offense, throwing an interception, putting the defense in a perfect position to be able to score there for the Browns. So I don't think when you look at the score, it's a good indicator of how the defense did. But like you were saying, we were able to see some guys that can help with the depth that this team is truly lacking. And then hopefully show some guys that, okay, if J.C. Horn, once he's back, has to come out for a couple plays or, is injured for a game or something like that, we can rely on these guys to come in, be reliable, and make some big plays.
Yeah, you certainly need depth, as you'll see across the National Football League. Cory Thornton certainly figures to be a piece, and also he caught up with Mike just a short time ago.
Well, I went to a Carolina Panthers preseason game, and a wrestling match broke out. And this man right here was the start of it, Cory Thornton, with the Alabama slam there in the first quarter. Have you ever hit a guy like that before in your life?
Maybe once or twice.
Can you break down the play, what happened, and when you made the play, did you know that it looked as devastating as it did from up there in the press box?
It kind of felt devastating, picking them up. He was kind of high up in the air. But, I'm in the boundary, playing cover two. Kind of fake belted like I wasn't playing cover two, seeing action coming towards me, and I seen a little reverse coming through. The receiver ain't want to block me, so I kind of flashed and got there in a hurry. And he tried to jump right over me. You know.
Now, after you made the play, did you break it down with some rock trash talk there? Did you give him a little something extra there at the end?
It was a little bit there.
Overall, though, I mean, your first preseason game in the books, 4 tackles, 1 for a loss, 1 pass deflection. I know it's just preseason, but how great was it to be out here doing this?
You know, it's definitely a blessing. You know, a dream come true. It's something to build off and just keep on just getting better each and every day.
Well, you're a guy that's trying to make the roster.
Yes, sir.
And a performance like this definitely is a great way to make your case. How do you think the progress is going? Where do you see yourself possibly fitting in when tough decisions have to be made?
I say the process is going pretty, smooth. And just wherever the team needs me to be, like whatever they need me to do, like so knowing I have to be willing to do it, whatever it may be, like, just staying ready. Like when that time actually comes and just keep on working on my craft, getting better, in and out.
Well, how do you think you can help this defense? Let's say you make the team. Where do you see yourself really fitting in and being that guy?
Special teams, of course. Just whatever they need me to be, special teams, outside, corner, as well. Like, man, whatever the case may be, like wherever they need me at, I'm there. Like, I'm ready.
You got to love it.
Yes, sir.
Cory Thornton laying the smack down to an NFL offense near you. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.